Welcome back to my garage, guys. What the heck is this? Warning, this vehicle may be impounded if it is not removed within 48 hours. I better get to work. It's kind of a big day here. I know it doesn't seem like much, but we get to pull that mock-up engine out of this thing. And that opens the door to get a whole lot more done up there. But wait, there's more. We're gonna get the steering set up too. And that's gonna be a huge deal because you need steering. Before we pull this out, we should trace it so we know where. Sorry guys. Let me get that for you. Mark the distributor hole. Whoop. So I haven't finished that part of the tunnel yet, so I can get at those bolts. So instead of pulling out the trans and the engine together, I'm just gonna use some blocks, hold up the transmission, take those bolts out, and then pulling them out separate, it's just gonna be easier. Let's do it. gonna try to be smart here. Make myself a roadblock. So I'm out here by myself. I got that heavy engine block hanging in the air, and there's a slope to my driveway. Cause it might make for some good content, but I'd rather not let this thing get away from me. You ever go chase a loaded cherry picker down a hill? I haven't, and I ain't trying to start today. Guys, that wanted to take off on me. We have a ton of work we can do now. We've been jumping around a lot on this. Just kind of doing a little bit of my ideas here and there, trying to make sure that they all work together. But now it's time to really start getting this thing done. So I'm gonna jump into the front there, and I'm gonna totally finish that. Work my way back. Front to back, top to bottom, outside in. Till I get bored and start jumping around again. How many of you remember when you would order from Speedway Motors and you'd have it the next day with a bunch of stickers? Not anymore. We got some steering parts. Double D steering shaft. The double D U-joint. Double D on both sides. We got another U-joint. Double D on one side. 26 spline on the other side, which will go into that Mustang 2 steering rack. I already got this gauge cluster all finished up, but we got to have it in here to get the steering column in the right place. So I took it out of hiding. Column drop was made out of some 1-inch angle and an exhaust clamp. Call it what you want, but it works. Already running into problems, namely the control arm bolt. I anticipated that though. I shortened the steering column 3 inches, but I left the shaft the stock length, so that way I could cut it to fit exactly how I want it. Just for reference, I'm gonna measure how much further I want that to go towards the dash. It's looking about 1 3/8 inches at the most. So I ran that bolt in and it's still hitting it. So I'm gonna start by trimming off maybe 1 inch. Just trying to get it as close to the position it's gonna be in as possible. And that's about it. Now this is the U-joint. It has a 26 spline end on it and the double D on the other. So my thought is, the longer I keep this, the better chance I'm gonna have of it clearing the exhaust. I'm just gonna hold this stuff and kind of eyeball it. I'm thinking right about there is about as long as I'm gonna get it. Sometimes you just gotta dig in, right? That's about right where I want it. Don't think it's gonna work right there though. We'll have to cut some more off of there. All right, I think that'll work. I'm gonna kind of eyeball where I want to cut the shaft, because this is next to shorten. this mark should be exact, but I'm gonna do it just a hair big because I can trim some off. That's real close right there, guys. It does clear though. I just won't be able to run this set screw. I'd really rather weld them on anyway. It just looks so much cleaner. The alignment guy's gonna hate me. If that bolt has to come off, to change that in any way, steering's gonna have to come apart because that bolt can't come off. I'll have to buy him lunch. I think we'll go ahead and grab the steering wheel, see if this works. I'm very confident that that's going to clear the exhaust. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to pull it out and weld it up. All right, the U-joint, steering shaft, and the steering shaft in the column. Let's talk about those for a sec. So when you get your steering shaft, you get the right size U-joint for that double D. It slides in there perfect. Nice tight fit. It's either got a set screw on there or you weld it. On the column side here, same thing, but I screwed up and ordered the wrong one. That ain't gonna work. What am I gonna do? And one thing you don't want to do, even if you're trying to just lengthen this, like if it's just a straight shot to the steering box, even though it fits in there real nice, don't do that. You're always gonna want to do some sort of coupler, or at least do a nice weld around there, and even do some plug welds in there. This thin wall on the column side, if you're turning real hard, it can open up, and this could get real sloppy, and you could be in trouble in a hurry. I cut a piece of my steering shaft, and it'll fit in there. Drill some holes, so you do some plug welds, and then weld that solid all the way around. Then this guy will fit on there, and I'll do the same thing. Plug weld and weld all the way around. That should be nice and strong. this one had a hole for where the set screw goes. I'm gonna drill one on the other side. We'll clean that up, weld these two together. Wife came out trying to avoid the dog's gas and got shot with sparks. Lucky the whole place didn't go up. One more time. Seriously, you guys gotta stop doing that. So I got this for the inside, for the base of the column. I don't know what I'm gonna do outside yet. I don't know, maybe another one of those? I don't know. That's a problem for another day. Goal for today accomplished. That's really what you got to do. You can't think about the whole project as one job. You got to separate it into little goals. Otherwise you get burnt out and you'll quit. Anyway, well, thanks for hanging out with me in the garage. I always appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, why don't you hit that subscribe button on your way out, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys. Totally kidding. I brought this home from work to put on the wife's car as a joke. She didn't think it was funny.